Right, so it just leaves me to pass the baton one final time to Steve before we set up downstairs. I'll be disappearing in a second, so I'll say my goodbyes as well. But Steve will bring us home. He'll tell us about the agents of change and who won the poll, in terms of the persona. Nothing could be more exciting. So Steve, over to you. Thank you.
Eleanor, we met 4 years ago, and you're very deserving of one of the heroes.
Thank you.
In terms of, we've worked together at quite a few different places. I've really enjoyed today, and cocktails aren't even here yet. We can talk about cocktails in a few minutes, non-alcoholic drinks as well. I just want to recap a few things that I've taken away from today, and then we'll talk about the changes of agents of change poll, and then logistics for those of you able to stay for some networking, really build your relationship, share best practice, and enjoy some special WorkBuzz themed cocktails or non-alcoholic drinks. I think for me, 3 things have come across today. That's it. One is we should be really proud of the difference we've made collectively over the last 2 or 3 years. The pandemic put HR at centre stage. You stood up, rose to the challenge, helped your C-suite manage unprecedented change, embed things like hybrid working, and really prioritise well-being. And we've seen some amazing stories for our clients that we haven't shared today about how you've led from the front, been the catalyst to really put HR employee experience center stage. So let's not forget that. But at the moment, there's a risk with a difficult economy, pressure on economics, that we may focus too much on shorter-term measures. We've seen a lot of talk about how important and how scarce talent is at the moment. A lot of us prioritise recruitment and retention. But that's getting more difficult, and we talk about a lack of skills. But if we're not willing to develop our talent, who can we blame? We found this year on the state of engagement, diversity and inclusion also fall down a little bit too. So it's really, really important for us to have a balance between short-term and longer-term. And one of the things I've learned from Neil Hayward's towards the back is the only way to really win a war for talent sustainably is through creating great cultures where people choose to stay and choose to join. And that was reinforced with sort of Gary's session earlier on around you giving your employees reasons to stay. Assume they're going to hit us up by recruiters, assume on LinkedIn they're seeing other roles. Second thing I'm going to take away from today is around life is full of contradictions. So we've spoken about AI, how it is already changing the world. But the most important thing in our companies are our people. So really contradictory messages there. And in terms of Katie's presentation, I was screenshots. And even though we're going to get the slides, I was sort of on my phone taking lots of photos. Really grateful for that. But 82% of HR teams have already or plan to adapt AI. We've used it internally at WorkBuzz. We're building bits into our platform we've shown you earlier on. But it's trying to think about AI strategically. There are so many different forms of AI. We've got the wave of generative AI that really sort of reinforced to my mind. It's a whole spectrum, and be really focused, deliberate about how you can use AI and for what reasons in our own businesses. We spoke a lot about leadership capability in the panel discussion around that. Really, we've all heard the same people lead managers, not companies, around that. We've seen our own WorkBuzz surveys, but we look at manager leadership capability. It has a huge impact on engagement. And two bits really stick with me from a mentor I work with. And he says, Steve, there's 2 types of problems. There's people problems, and there's people problems. There's always a root cause there, whatever it is. You can go back to you hire the wrong person, it's the wrong culture, whatever it may be. And then second, you want to get good at business, be really good with people, keep working on it. So that's really struck home with me in terms of it's really important all the focus on AI at the moment, have a purpose of using it, but let's not lose track of our people, especially leadership capability. And the final thing, and this has been inspired by some of our friends at Castlebridge, and this is just trying to put in the spot, when we were just having a break, You popped over and said, not quite at 1,000 employees, but would love to take part in AIDS. Again, we're a humble company. We try to practice what we preach and be flexible too. So if you wanted to take part in AIDS, I haven't sort of preempted this or agreed it with our engineering team just yet, so I'm going to upset them. I'm going to some dagger eyes. But in terms of if you wanted to take part in AIDS in terms of that no-cost pilot, don't quite have 1,000 employees, but have frontline workers and would help drive participation in that so we get feedback, just let us know. We're humble enough on that front, so please just let us know if you're interested in taking part. And a final thank you to Gary. Gary, who's not here to have a round of applause, has helped spearhead today. He's currently downstairs making sure the soundtrack is all set up. So he's very much into his music. So I hope you enjoy the soundtrack, and we head downstairs in a few minutes. We started today by talking about our agents of change, which is all of you in the room. You've done that before over the last few years. It's time to step up again. And we have 4 different agents of change. So we're now going to move, and I think we had the poll since, and a lot of you would have been completing that on your apps. So this is what came out as some of the 4 agents of change. So just to recap, Allura is all about recruitment. It's all about alluring and recruiting great talent. Magneto is about retaining talent and retention. Cultura, I promise you I didn't come up with these names. Cultura is all about creating culture, diverse, inclusive cultures. And Rapido is all about being rapid and productivity. So we've linked that to the state of employee engagement. And we asked you, what's your biggest focus at the moment? The results are in. So Magneto, which fits heavily with state of engagement, doesn't it, in terms of retention, that key focus, followed by recruitment on that. So really, really interesting. So I hope you had a bit of fun with that too. Make sure you post it to social media too in terms of your own visual. If you haven't done the app yet, it asks you to take a photo. It imposes you on the superhero of your choice. So make sure you put it on social. And in terms of our everyday heroes, that's what today's about. The reason we built WorkBuzz isn't about building the tech platform. It isn't about net promoter scores. It's about making a tangible difference. It's the stories that one of you shared with me during the break around our onboarding product, how it helped you to turn and save an employee that would have left, you didn't have visibility of, and it allowed you to intervene and make a difference. It's about creating inclusive culture. It's about having data at your fingertips so you can challenge in a healthy way your board if they're looking to insist on pushing everyone back to the office 5 days a week. And that's not the right thing to do for your organisation. It allows you to have better informed conversations about the impact that's going to have on your culture and retention. And I'm super grateful for you all being here today, and I really mean that. And a lot of you have travelled long distances to be here. I think it's a privilege to work with so many great brands and organisations. So a big thank you from me to all of you. If we now come on to cocktails and for non-alcoholic drinks if you're not drinking. So downstairs in Leo's restaurants, we have some games. We have HR Whack-A-Mole. I know it sometimes feels like that, and so there's one challenge, there's another challenge there. We have some prizes, and we have free cocktails. First of all, we have the People Science Special. Can I ask some members of our People Science team to stand up and give us a wave? I think we've got a few of you here. I can see Ian and John. John's the keen golfer. They're so instrumental to what we do. We spoke a bit about earlier around how to evidence the impact of your initiatives. What our People Science team can do is link engagement to some of your KPIs. So whether it's customer satisfaction is important, how we can link that, and whether it's retention, productivity. So we're really lucky to have like John and Ian on our team. Second cocktail we got, the spirit of today's theme is an everyday hero. And the third cocktail, a slight play on words here, is the Workstar Martini. I'm not going to reference what that normally would be. So we have a choice of cocktails downstairs. If you aren't drinking non-alcoholic drinks, it's a free bar in terms of covered by WorkBuzz. So if you'd like to make your way down, it's downstairs. My team will guide you. If you can't see the signs, look here. Look out for the bad music, courtesy of Gary. And again, a big thank you from me to everyone who's been a part of our journey and here today. Thank you.